Hi everyone, welcome to or back to my channel where I will crochet it forward in this tutorial by sharing my cables pattern. I'm going to name it Raymee'Ana. It's a Raymee'Ana pattern. Just taught myself how to do some cables. I had been intimidated for so long, but really it's not that bad. It's not that bad. So I wanted to do a tutorial to share. I'm also going to show you how to make this really easy border. So without any further ado, let's get started. The yarn I used for this pattern is a vintage Red Heart yarn. I got this from an online garage sale and it came in a package. I don't even know if they sell this anymore. Anyway, the color is Lullaby 964. Each one of these has, where does it say it on there? It doesn't give the crochet hook size, so I just use the knitting needle size, which is 8mm, but there's 99 grams in each, 99.2 grams in each of these, and it's a really thick yarn. And I went through, let's see, this is the 6th one, so I would say that you would need probably close to 600, 650 if you want to include the edging, I mean the border. And I'm going to use Red Heart Super Saver Minty for the border, as well as Red Heart Super Saver White. You're also going to need an 8mm crochet hook. At least this is what I used. You could probably use the recommended crochet hook. Some scissors, a sewing needle. Alright, so the multiples for my Raymee'Ana cable pattern are going to be 19, and this includes your 15 EDCs plus 4 for your cables. So decide how many cables you want. Each cable is going to have 19. I put 5 in my blanket if you're going for that size, but for this tutorial I'm just going to do a smaller version. So I'm going to do 2 cables and the 15 at the end up here, plus my 1 for it to turn when I start working from second from the hook. So I'm going to chain 54. The next thing we're going to do is in your second chain from your hook, we're going to make an alternate chain 2. And that's just making a single crochet and then chain 2. And we'll start every cable row like this. And then we're going to make, that's also going to count as your first extended double crochet. And we're going to make 14 extended double crochets, and all that is going into your next stitch, pulling up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 1 for the extension, and then just finish your double crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, I'll do that again. Pull up a loop. You have 3 on your hook. We're just going to go yarn over 1 loop for our extension, and then 2, 2. Super easy. I love these stitches. If you follow me, you probably know that already. But again, that's pulling up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, 2. All right, so what you want to do is go and make 1 EDC all the way back to your beginning chain, and I'll meet you back. So once you've finished your starting row, we're going to turn our work, and then we're going to make an alternate chain 2. Again, that's that single crochet in that first stitch, and then chain 2. And then that's going to count as our first EDC. So we want to make 14 more EDCs for a total of 15. And again, I'll just show you real quick. It's yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 1. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. So go ahead and work your 15, and I will meet you back. Once you have your 15 EDCs, this is optional, but I think it helps with the beginners and even with learning a new pattern. You can use any stitch marker. I'm just using a contrast yarn color, but I'm going to skip 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just place it in there. because as the pattern goes on, it's really easy to get these stitches confused. So the next thing we're going to do is alternate or extended triple crochets, and that's what our cables are made out of. And so we're going to we have stitches 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to skip 1 and 2 and make front post extended triple crochets in the 3rd and 4th stitch. So that is taking your hook and going behind the post, pulling up a loop. We have 3 on our hook. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay? Go to the 4th stitch. Do the same thing. At front post, pull up a loop, 3 on our hook, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now what we're going to do is repeat that in stitches 1 and 2. So go behind the first one, and you might have to like maneuver your piece a little bit so you can make them. I guess this is the challenge with making cables. And then go through number 2, the stitch number 2, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and that's our first set of cables. Super easy. Now this is the first repeat round. Round 2 and 3 are the rounds that you're going to repeat. So now we're going to do is, so we're right here where our stitch marker is. So we know we got to go right into that stitch. And you can see that this is worked into. So we'll start our next set of 15, whoops. 15 EDCs. So go ahead and make another 15, and I'll meet you so we can do that second cable. All right, so I've already completed my next 15 EDCs, and I've also marked the 5th stitch, skipping the 4 that we're going to work into. And we're just going to repeat what we did with the first cable, and that's make a front post extended triple crochet. So we're going to yarn over and go into stitch number 3 first. We're going to do 3, 4, and then 1, 2. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay? Do that one more time for this cable set. 1, 1, 2, 2. Okay? And then we're going to go back to 1 and 2 and do the same thing. 1, 1, 2, 2. And then that hidden one, that second one is always going to be a little hard to see, especially when you get more into your project. 1, 1, 2, 2. Okay? And then again, there's that unworked stitch, or the marked stitch. 1, 2, 2. So I'm going to go ahead and finish my last 15 EDCs for round 2, and I'll meet you back. All right, so I'm finishing up the second round, and I just remembered I wanted to point something out to you. Because every other row you're going to have to work into this alternate chain 2, but I wanted to show you that this space right here is always going to be the one that you worked your last EDC. It's right there. Let me see if I can, right in here. You can't miss it. So that's going to be pretty easy. So I'm going to go ahead and finish mine. 1, 2, 2. Turn our work. And this is the last row repeat. Like I said, it's 2 rows, super easy. This is probably the superest easy row. But this is just 1 single crochet in each stitch. And we don't chain 1 or anything, but we do make our first single crochet loose. Okay? And everyone knows how to make a single crochet probably. Yarn over, pull up a loop. You got 2 on your hook. Yarn over. That's a single crochet. So make 1 single crochet in the first 15 on top of the 15 EDCs, and I'll meet you over here at the cable stitches. All right, so I have my 14 single crochets done. This is my 15th one. And then for the cable stitches, we're just going to make one single crochet on top of each of those 4 stitches that we use for the cable. Super easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're just going to hop into your next stitch for one single crochet the next 15. If you're not sure what stitches, you can always turn, and sometimes you can see them more better on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and do my next 15 single crochets, and I'll meet you over here at the other cable. All right, again, so we're just going to make 4 single crochets on top of our cable stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to finish my 15 single crochets, and I'll meet you back. All right, I just finished my 14th single crochet, and again, there's that it's actually the chain space. It's really visible. That's where you're going to put your 15th single crochet. So just look for the little space, and it's always 2 loops. Okay, so now we're done with repeat row 2, the simplest row, and now we're just going to repeat. That was row 3, I'm sorry. Now we're just going to repeat row 2, which is our extended double crochets. We're going to make an alternate chain 2 here again. All your rows are going to start that way that we make the cables in. So it'd be like I believe they're your even rows. And then we're just going to make 15 EDCs, and I'll meet you again over here so we can review the cable. Okay, we're at our first cable here, so we're going to skip those first 2 stitches, and now for this next row and repeating the pattern, you're going to have to go under the post, not the top stitches of each of our extended triples. So the first 2 are pretty easy, but then the other 2 kind of get like lost, and you just have to be patient. I just wanted to give you that heads up. So we're going to yarn over and go through stitch number 3, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're going to go to our 4th post behind there, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and now we're going to do stitch number 1 and number 2. And sometimes I find that if I pinch the stitch at the bottom here, I get more control of the piece. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, there's that 3rd one. This can be a little tedious if you're not a patient person. 2, 3, 3. Okay, so I'm going to do the next 15 EDCs, and then I'll meet you for the second cable. I've completed my 15 EDCs, but I wanted to show you something real quick. Another way to check your work, make sure you're not missing any stitches. You should always have 4 stitches. Those are the 4 cable stitches before, after and before your 15 EDCs. So that's just a little tip. All right, so now we're going to do our 4 extended triples. I'm going to 3, 4, and then 1 and 2. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 1, yarn over, go through 1, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Okay, let's do our 4th stitch. Pull up a loop, 1, 1, 2, 2. Go back over here to stitches 1 and 2. Pull up a loop under behind 1, 1, 1. Oops. Let's do that again. Yarn over, pull up a loop, go through 1, 1, 2, 2, and then stitch number 3. It's back there hiding. There she is. 1, 1, 2, 2. Okay, I'm going to finish up my 15 EDCs and I'll meet you back. Real quick, I want to mention that after you do your cables and you're going into your next stitch for your EDC, sometimes the stitches can be a little confusing, but just look for the first unused or the first EDC. Like this one over here is connected to this one over there, so that's also another clue so you don't miss your count. So I have one more EDC left for the row, and when you do this row on top of the single crochet row, the stitch is pretty obvious. Okay, now we're going to repeat row 3 with just one single crochet in each stitch. And remember, we don't chain one, we just make that first single crochet loosely. So go ahead and finish up your project. I'm going to finish my rows on my blanket, and I'll come back and I'll show you how to do that really cute border. All right, so I just finished my size blanket. I did 42 rows of cables, and then I did just one row of EDCs, just like we did at the very beginning. So we want the top and the bottom to match. And then now we're ready for our border. Again, that's 42 rows with 5 cables. So we're ready to do a border. I'm going to grab my white yarn and I'm going to attach in the next to the last stitch. This is where I chained one and fastened off. And I'm just going to make our alternative chain 2, which is that single crochet and then chain 2. And then for each corner, we're going to make 3 EDCs. 1, 2, 3. Now the top and bottom stitches are pretty obvious. It's just the side ones that are always challenging. So what we're going to do, and I'm not going to work these, I'm going to work these in later. The next thing we're going to do is put an EDC in these stitches. There's 1, 2, and then you'll always put one where the single crochet is. That single crochet row. And again, just go in between these stitches because we're trying to get 2 loops here. We don't want like big gaps. And then there. And then there. So just follow that stitch count and write down the number you have on this side and make sure you have it on the same number on the other side. All right, so I just completed the first side. I ended up with 120 stitches. So I'm going to write that number down and be sure that I do the other side, making sure that I have 120 stitches. You might not get that. You might get a different number. Whatever number you get, write it down so you have the same amount of stitches on the side so your blanket isn't lopsided. Again, I did 3 stitches in the corner, and I'm just going to do 1 stitch all the way down, and I'll meet you back. All right, so I just finished my first round on my border, and I'm just going to slip to join in that top of that alternate chain 2. And fasten off. Okay. And I did want to mention, when you're at the bottom, be sure that you're going through 2 loops on the chain. That way you're not, it doesn't leave like a really big gap or anything. Make sure you're going through those 2 loops. That's what I want to mention. So I'm going to grab my other color. All right, for our second border row, you want to be sure that you're starting on the side where the cables are not, the opposite side. Because the puff stitches are going to be puffing out on the opposite direction. So we're just going to join with a single crochet. Okay, and then we're going to skip a stitch and then make an extended double crochet like we've been doing, and then in this space right here we're going to make our puff stitch, and that's yarning over 3 times. So we yarn over, pull up a loop. That's 1, 2, 3. Okay, then we're going to pull through all of them. Carefully pull through all of them. There we go. And then immediately single crochet in that next stitch to lock that puff in. Okay, do that again. Skip a stitch. 1 EDC in the next. 1, 2, 2, and then 3 yarn overs in this space right here. 1, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2, 3, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through all of them, and then lock it in with a single crochet in the next stitch. And what that does is it's going to give a puff stitch on the opposite side where the cables are. So go ahead and do that, and I will meet you back here. Alright, so I just made my last puff stitch. I'm going to make that single crochet, and then now I'm just going to slip stitch to that very first single crochet and fasten off. Okay, now I'm going to get my white again. I am going to turn my work around to do this row. Sorry, don't have a lot of space to work with. And I'm just going to fasten on in any space, really. Now this is the braided side up. Okay, I'm just going to go in a stitch, make a single crochet, right? And what we're going to do is make extended half double crochets. Now remember, an extension is just 1 extra yarn over. Okay, so we're in that same stitch. We're going to go in and pull up a loop. We're just going to go through 1. That's for the extension, and then we're going to go through all of them. And then we're just going to keep doing that. Yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 on your hook, yarn over, go through 1, yarn over, go through all 3. That's an extended half double crochet. 1, 3. We're just going to do that in every stitch. 1, 3. Right here. 1, 3. And then right on top. 1, 3. And then on the other side. 1, 3. So go ahead and do that in every stitch all the way around, and I'll meet you back. So for the bobbles that are in the corner, you want to make 3 extended half double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And that's so that we have our blanket that lays out correctly and straight. Alright, so we're finishing up our extended half double crochet row. We're just going to slip to join to the very first stitch. And then our last row, we're going to chain 1, is just going to be a single crochet. So we're just going to make 1 single crochet in each stitch. And then I will meet you over here at the corner. I'll show you how to work that. Alright, so I'm here at the corner. Remember, we put 3 extended half double crochets in the previous round. So now what we want to do is get to our middle stitch and make 3 single crochets in there. So that's 1, 2, 3. You're going to do that for each corner And then for every other stitch, you're just going to make a regular single crochet. So go ahead and finish that all the way around your blanket, and I'll meet you back. Once you've finished your extended half double crochet row, we just want to slip to join to that very first stitch. And then we'll go ahead and fasten off. And now all we need to do is sew in our ends. And I'll just show you real quick how to sew in your ends. I'm sure most of you already know. But the important thing is to go in a couple directions and not just one. Because I guarantee you those ends will come out. So we're going that direction. And then we'll turn around, pick up a stitch up here, then go back. I like to go at least 2. And just cut off there, stretch it out, and then do that for the rest of the ends. So that's it. That's my pattern. I'm really liking how the border turned out on this. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the pattern. I'm sorry for any confusion. Please don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, and together, let's continue to crochet it forward. Bye now.